My dad matched with my bully on Tinder and took her on a date. I came home crying again, and my dad caught me before I could disappear into my room. Hey, what happened? The softness in his voice broke me. I told him everything. It's my English teacher, I started, fiddling around with my sleeve. She targets me for no reason. Whenever she knows I don't have the answer, she calls on me just to humiliate me. But when my hand is up because I do have the answer, she ignores me. She always makes sure to give me the lowest grade in the class, even if I have the same answers as everyone else. I'd already reported her to the principal, but nothing changed. If anything, it got worse after that. She knew I'd snitched. My dad listened quietly the whole time. Then he asked a weird question. She's single, right? I blinked. I think so? She's on dating apps. Some kids saw her profile and made fun of it. I had no idea why that mattered, but he just nodded slowly and kissed my forehead. Don't worry about her anymore, okay? Let your old man handle it. I didn't know what that meant. And later that night, I saw him downloading Tinder on his phone. His profile looked solid, said he was looking for a long-term relationship and a woman who was into golden retrievers and red wine in that order. He got a bunch of matches straight away, which made sense because my dad was a put-together guy making $300,000 a year, but was still humble enough to hate rich people. It only took 10 minutes of swiping to match with Miss Blackwood. Over the next few days, they texted constantly. She was sending selfies, flirty messages, paragraphs about her day, and my dad played along perfectly, sending back things like, "You seem like the kind of woman who doesn't get appreciated enough." I almost gagged, but whatever he was doing, it was working. She was hooked. That weekend, he took her to the nicest restaurant in our city. He showed up with flowers, opened the car door for her, told her she looked stunning before they even left the driveway. At the restaurant, he pulled out her chair, ordered wine for the table, asked about her career, her dreams, what she wanted out of life. She talked about herself the entire night, and he listened like she was the most fascinating woman he'd ever met. "You're so passionate," he said, swirling his glass. "It's rare to meet someone who actually cares about what they do." She blushed. "I just love my job." He smiled. "I can tell. It's attractive." She practically glowed under the attention. By the end of the night, she didn't want it to end. He kissed her on the cheek and whispered, "I'll call you." She floated back to her apartment like she'd just met the love of her life, but he never called. Not the next day, not the day after. Her texts started coming in. "Last night was perfect, so when are we going to do it again?" Then, "Hey, when are you free this week?" Then, "Did I say something wrong?" Then just, "Hello?" He didn't respond to a single one. I watched her messages pile up on his phone, each one more desperate than the last. I didn't understand why he'd sweep her off her feet and then vanish. But every time I asked, he just smiled and said, "Trust me." But at school, she kept bullying me. She still didn't know her date was my dad, and the heartbreak made her bullying worse. She started taking out all her anger on me by marking my projects that I'd spent over 20 hours on with a big fat F. When I stuttered and explained it was because I had a speech impediment, she'd get the entire class to laugh at me for being weak. But 2 weeks later, I finally realized why my dad did what he did. It was a parent-teacher conference night. Me and my dad walked into Miss Blackwood's classroom. I watched her look up from her desk with a polite smile, ready to greet another parent. Then she saw who it was. Her face went completely white, like she'd seen a ghost. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. My dad just smiled warmly and extended his hand. "Hi, I'm OP's father. I'm sorry, have we met? You look really familiar." She stammered something I couldn't hear. He sat down across from her like nothing was wrong and started asking about my grades. She could barely look at him. He maintained the act of pretending not to know her. After that night, everything changed. Miss Blackwood couldn't even make eye contact with me anymore, and my GPA went up to 4.0, all thanks to Papa.